What's up, everybody? Kreashunz here, and today I'm going to be talking about 8th grade, chapter 9. So, let's recap. Back from chapter 8, when I was in 7th grade, you guys already heard the huge thing. I said before, it's going to be the same thing with my life, but with a little twist. That's what my life is all about. The huge thing back in 7th grade, of course, you guys know that I finally made my first email. That was back from Hotmail, and that was back when AOL Instant Messenger and MSN was the shit back then. And of course, I already talked about to you guys about, like, there was a creeper back on AOL Instant Messenger, and I hit that block button. It just, when someone says something that's like, to an extreme, and I know maybe I should talk about that on my other playlist for the Love Guru, but that'll be another time. So here I am, 8th grade. I think it's just in between the best year of my life and not so great. Actually, let me take that back. It was the greatest year of my life because, number one, they said that I have to take, like, a class. How am I gonna describe it? Like, a class where you have to just talk about, like, learn a different language. So I picked French class, and I love French class. I had a decent teacher. He was awesome. He does kind of remind me of my old principal back from elementary school. But he's a nice guy overall. I kind of did feel bad that where I brought this one day. I brought, like, this bottle of fake blood, and I put it on my arm, and I put 2 dabs on my arm, and it did look like that a dog that just bit my arm, which I find pretty funny. And I told him, like, it looks so realistic. I wish they would bring that back, but they don't have that anymore, which kind of sucks. But it did look realistic though. So it was on a Friday, from what I remember. And what's also cool is, like, my friend that I knew that was in my French class, I met him back from elementary, and it was, French class was cool. Me and my friend, all we did was just play Pokemon. Pokemon was a shit back from middle school. Don't get me wrong, that was shit. We go to this, well, I go to this one club, and it's like a magic card club where, it's a fad where you sell or just, like, trade Pokemon cards. If that book with, I forgot the name of this magic card book, but it has a whole bunch of cards with prices on it. And this one card that I have for Pokemon, it was like an energy card for different element Pokemon, and it says it's 10 cents. And this one dude's like, how much for those energy cards? I says $1. I was a baller back then, back in 8th grade, where, it's like the sanctuary of this club is like a flea market. I'm just selling cards back and forth, like, but I don't trade cards for another cards. I just sell them because I don't play the game. I play it for Game Boy and for Game Boy Pocket. But yeah, he asked for, like, 10 energy cards. He wants to buy off me 10 energy cards. As I said before, it's 10 cents based on the book, but you know, I said $1, and he gave me $10 for 10 energy cards, and I was selling a buttload of cards, and the next thing you know, I wind up with freaking $100, easy. What can I say? I had a ton of money back then. I haven't had that much money since fucking... Fuck, I don't remember. Like, on my old job, but this is another story, but honestly, my old job, I had, like, I made $1,000 every 2 weeks. So $2,000 going into my account. Easy. But back then, I didn't really think about how, you know, when you have all these old toys, those back from the 80s or from the 70s, and when you keep them in good condition, like Steve Carell back on the 4-Year-Old Virgin, where he made a buttload of money by maintaining all his toys. You know, I wouldn't known back then, or at least my parents had told me, it's like, don't open that, it'll be valuable in the future. If it was like from the movie Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, where I can go back into the past and, you know, saying that telling my younger me, don't sell this until, you know, whenever it gets valuable. It's like I do kind of miss those days where, you know, those days where you play Pogs. Pogs was the shit. If there are no video games in real life and Pogs was still the shit, and still is, I'd still play it. But aside from that, next day on Saturday, my French teacher called my house and said on the message that, hey, I hope you're okay, you know, I hope you went to the hospital and, you know, get that checked, that rabid dog or whatever, you know, it's vital, and, you know, it's pretty much vital, and, you know, your life is on the line, etc., etc. And then as soon as that message ended, my mom came in, and she said, who is that? And I was like, nobody. Don't worry about it. I was like, okay, so that's one out of the 2 that I got scot-free out of. The second one is I had a fight. There was a fight between me and this one dude that is, well, you know, a regular old bully that I've known since, well, he was, I don't know how to describe him, but, you know, I didn't really talk to him when I was back in kindergarten, but, I mean, he changed his name because he thinks his original name is, you know, sounds fruity, so he decides to make it more a manly name. I think it was me and him had a fight. I forgot it was him or someone else. I forgot who it was, but the school called me and said, if you don't go, you know, deal with your suspension or whatever, you're not going to be able to go to the dance. Okay, you know. And then I think I got another, well, let's just put it as this. I didn't go to my, to, like, Saturday school or deal with my suspension. I think they called me and says, like, did you, you know, go to your Saturday school, blah, blah, and I was like, I think you got the wrong person, you know, I wasn't part of that fight, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And they're like, okay, and that was it. And that was the second time I got scot-free. And what else has happened? I do remember that I've stolen like $50 from my parents' purse. Oh, my mom's purse. And it was a never-ending conversation. Until I was like, here, I don't want it anymore. I would say I may be shy, but I am pretty much somewhat a troublemaker. But that's just like, you know, when you're young, you're naive, and you're still, you know, learning the world, the environment, if you will. But the biggest highlight of my life in 8th grade is the dance. From 7th grade, from what I told you guys, I met like cool friends, and this one other dude I forgot to mention on 7th grade that I knew, that back then, you know, we were the best of friends back then. This was another dude. I'll just say that he looked like Marlon Wayans. We'll just put it as that. You guys pretty much know who I'm talking about. But we were best of friends. I mean, best of friends. I've known that dude for a very long time. But again, another story. I'm just going to put it in short detail and that's it. But anywho, when the dance started, that girl that I liked in 6th grade was there with her boyfriend. And she looked at me like she wanted to be with me. She was like, in her eyes, she's like, dance with me. And, you know, I did really find her attractive. I really, really do. But as I said before, I'm shy. I don't know what to say. But she had a boyfriend. What can I do? Couldn't do anything. And I told my other friend to come in. Dude, it was fucking hilarious. While I'm dancing, let's see, I danced with 2 ladies back in 8th grade. And my friend was just watching me while eating a friggin' fried chicken. And that's all he's been doing. It's like, I keep asking, why don't you dance with some of these ladies? Like, no, you go dance, I'll just watch you dance. It's like, okay. And then by the end of the dance, I heard my friend's mom's like, did you dance with anyone, sweetie? I was like, oh, fuck, that would be all bad if my parents did that, which they didn't. And my friend hid like in all these multiple balloons. But aside from that, that was the highlight of my life back in 8th grade. So, that being said, like this video, make your favorite, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy the story of my life in 8th grade, chapter 9. Be on the lookout for 9th grade, the 10th chapter of my life. So until then, see you guys later.